the recent news because I think this is really important. A lot of people, you already hear the news about World ID. Also, it's like a Worldcoin. The idea is like when they scan your retina, you can actually they get your bio ID, which means it is really same thing like your fingerprints. That means your world ID as a global citizens of the world. When the first time I heard about this news, I think about the movie. That was a long time ago. It was a adapt story by Philip Dick, the very famous science fiction novelist. So one of the movie that's called The Minority Report. It's played by Tom Cruise. So what was the story? The story was about Tom Cruise. He has to run away because in the future world, so there'll be like a three fortune tellers. They can tell exactly what happened. Let's say they can predict some crime will happen, so they can actually tell you that reports. Why they call the minority reports? Because they're like three fortune tellers. So they have like three votes. If it's less than two votes, that's a minority report. And that system never go wrong. So I mean that when they predict Tom Cruise will kill somebody, so that means Tom Cruise he needs to run. So as the character needs to run, and then he realized because in the future world that the people they collect the bio ID, which means that's already they predict in the movie. As I should say they predict by Philip Dick's novel. They screen your retina, so they got your bio ID. So when Tom Cruise want to run away, he has to actually take off his eyebrow. Yeah, that sounds scary, but that's what happened right now. That I have something that I think is quite interesting about because when I think about take out your take the screenshot that screen your retina, I think that's the same thing like they want to take your soul. Because especially they can get sort of like I'll say that they get sort of like well, I don't know, I haven't really checked, but it's something like they can distribute some crypto to your wallet, or that's like a universal basic income. But from my understanding, I think it's the same story, universal basic income, because that's totally different. I think that's a different ideas because I made Andrew Yan in one crypto event called Crypto Monday. So he explained about universal basic income.
I ran for president in 2018 on an idea called universal basic income. You all remember that? And I found that the vast majority of people who are in the crypto space...
I'd be interested. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. It's last time. How many people here have heard of universal basic income?
Heard of it, better be all of you. And then for it, it'd be some, hopefully, significant proportion. So I found that 80% plus of the folks in crypto were pro-universal basic income, in large part because they had seen these enterprises and projects rise out of nowhere. And they had this sense of optimism and possibility that was like a perfect fit with my campaign. So at this point, I started realizing, it's like, wow, we got to work hand in glove. It's one reason why I started Lobby 3 DAO and Golden DAO to try to energize the Web3 community towards alleviating poverty, which I see is totally unnecessary in our time.
So...
where some people do all the work and some people just chill out.
Again, but universal basic income, you don't really need to contribute your retina. You don't need to let others to collect your IDs, your bio IDs from your retina, because that's something I think about that as reciprocated, not it's just more like exchange. It's not like totally free. But universal basic income means you don't even need to do anything. Okay, you just collect the funding from the government. I haven't updated the Web3 news for a while, so I try to do live. I think it's easier since I have my YouTube channel. So if you like to follow more like a Web3 news, you can stay tuned and subscribe my channel, Giovanna Sun. That's my name, my brand. Another interesting news is so there's recently there's a startup called LunarCrush. Just raised like 5 million C-run. LunarCrush, this platform does this. They are like more like a social media, but they can track all the influencers about all these. So that means that they give you some idea like what is the trends like. So they have all the data, the data that you can compare different influencers. So let's say if some whales they say they just buy something or they speak something about like the reason they think they want, even they want to buy something, that you can actually see all these data. You can actually compare like before you want to make any decisions about crypto investments. So I think this is a really good, have a good integrations to put all the influencers, especially those influencers in the crypto industry, into one single platform. Don't really need to connect your crypto wallet to see all these data. You can just register email. I used a long time ago. It's about more than 3 years that they kind of growing every years. Track all the data from all the crypto influencers. So they track all the data like a sales report, like the most recent sales of NFTs and cryptos and those kind of like trends. So you can track the data. Not financial or legal, accounting, or any advice. I just share some information since I haven't talked about Web3 news for a while, because I actually, when I restart my YouTube channel again, I think about talk about more about Web3 news, and then I start to develop my pillows. There's pillows on the back. I launch a lot of new design, and also I try to create more content since I was a film major, but I never really get into Hollywood. So I think about why not? If I have a YouTube channel, I still can have my movie business, right? Stay tuned. Bye.